everybody. We want to thank y'all for coming back to the third episode of our podcast. You heard what I said. I'm JP, got my brother Dwight and Latif with me. You know how we do. We normally record on a certain day, but we decided to wait because of the election that's going on right now. And as we're recording this, we still don't have a president yet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's 10:24 and we know nothing.
We don't know nothing. Like, this is so crazy, man. I mean, you know, part of it is, you know, with COVID and the mail-in ballots, so everybody's counting ballots, and so, you know, of course, it's only right that we start with the election and what's going on right now. Cause
remember how we felt last year on the next day? Because when we went to bed 4 years ago, we already knew Hillary lost.
Right.
So remember the next day how social media was? It was like a funeral. You know what I'm saying? Like, people couldn't believe what happened. You know what I'm saying? It was like, damn, son. Like,
I remember that night.
That was unbelievable, though.
I remember that night seeing people crying. Seeing people literally crying.
Tears of sadness instead of joy.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. So, I mean, right now it's, you know, a lot of people on, you know, my timelines on my social media are drinking alcohol with the news on. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to get through it. Because, first of all, it shouldn't even be this close. The fact that it's this close is a huge problem for me.
I knew it was going to be close.
I mean, I knew it was going to, but the fact that it is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I can't lie. I didn't think it was going to be this close, where we 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time the next day.
Yeah.
And it's still some ambiguity about what's going to happen. Like, I would think, I'd have thought by midday that they would have, you know, had something that said, hey, you know, this guy won or this guy won. The only thing we know for sure is states that didn't vote for Trump this time, like Arizona and Michigan, flipped to Joe Biden, which probably going to end up getting him in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
We also know that Trump and his people have filed about roughly 755 lawsuits, recounts and stop counts and all that stuff. Like,
out the count.
Only
here though. Only here though.
Son, yeah.
Not these ones I need. Keep counting those.
I never thought in our history we would hear the President of the United States have to resort to, you know, this is shit that people do when they renege in spades on purpose because they know they're going to lose.
Right.
So they renege in spades on purpose, hope that nobody catch it so they can catch these books and they don't get set. Son, you was talking about they was going to cheat 3 months ago. You had no faith in yourself, no faith in your campaign, none of that. You knew you were going to lose. He probably actually more surprised that it's close than we are. Because you was calling shenanigans beginning of the summer.
He's going to have a big win, the biggest win ever.
Yeah.
Big win.
We're going to big win, very big win. There's going to be many people. It's going to be very great celebration. We're going to do really good things, really great things. I got a lot of great people behind me. The guy over there, he talks crazy. He talks like a used car salesman to me.
Yeah.
But
so, like we were saying earlier, what we're seeing right now isn't neither shocking or surprising.
Not at all.
It's right on par with the shit show we've been watching for the last 4 years. If he'd have stood on if we see him ever stand on TV and gracefully say, "Hey, congratulations to Joe Biden. We tried, we didn't get it done. Let's try to bring the country together." We'll never see that.
No.
We'll never see that. You can bet your house note on it. Yeah, so like the fact that we got to go through this in 2020 and the people that support him are not even man or woman enough to say, like, son, you wilding right now.
It's too much stuff to defend when you support him.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's perfect thing to say.
Way too much.
Way too much. It's too much, man. And the fact that we probably won't know until maybe in a couple days. like you said, usually by the night of, we know, okay, this person's gonna win. But
with all the mail-in ballots,
the mail-in ballots, that's what's really doing it.
And some states they couldn't count them until election day.
No, but listen, that's a law that the Trump administration enacted. the thing that Pennsylvania said, well, we're not counting any votes until everything is in, or the next day or something like that. That's something that Trump and them put in place. They knew that they've been setting this shit up for 4 years, son. They've been setting it up for 4 years, and the only thing is that didn't work out was, yo, we were supposed to get Arizona, we were supposed to get Michigan, we were supposed to, he got Ohio, but there's other ones, Georgia, he on the ropes in Georgia, he on the ropes in North Carolina, So it's like, and these is places that he didn't have any idea. He thought that, if it is close, Biden may get Pennsylvania with them working class people, and I lied to them people about bringing coal back, so maybe they'll remember that. So he had to set up all these roadblocks to try to get him. And one thing that I give the people on Fox News today, when the commentator speaking was like, let's say this do work out and he wins these lawsuits and he is able to keep his seat in the White House. What are other people going to think about him? Even the supporters, because the Fox News is
they don't care.
Nah, I don't believe that.
His supporters don't care about nothing.
I don't. No. Listen, I believe that to a certain extent. I think if this is some long, drawn out, legal battle, I think they'll look at him a little less than they had before. I think what they like about him is the false bravado, the arrogance, and the stuff like that. Him, what they see right now is him cowering and him being scared, and it's something that they haven't seen from him in the last 4 years. If he keeps on continuing this with no basis on why you think they cheated, like he don't have no basis on this.
But he's
no evidence, no nothing.
He's been lying to the public since he got in office, and they don't care. Right now, all they're thinking is, okay, he says this is fraud. It's fraud. Let me get my red hat. Let me wave my flag.
Right.
We would.
You know what? In a lot of the other instances, it's been some type of fuzziness and ambiguity where if you was rocking with him, there's a way where you could see, well, yeah.
He told him to drink bleach.
But luckily, only five people did it though. Only 5 people did it. Then they got there. But it's like this. At some point, like I said, I think, and I put it on Facebook earlier. The thing I think that men, in particular, like about Donald Trump is the shit that's fake about him. He's not this confident. He's not this. He may be that arrogant, but he's not this confident. He's not that sure of himself. If anybody that's sure of himself wouldn't be going through this shit that he put the country through the last 36 hours. And the fact that they look past all the stuff that makes Trump the bitch that he is what's troubling. But it's like, but that's the kind of people that support people like that. Somebody who you see what you want to be in him because you don't have the heart to be that way yourself in real life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like hey, I see he speaks his mind. It was people actually saying this nigga should be the president of the United States of America because he speaks his mind. That was the best defense they had to him. And
Hillary's emails.
Yeah. I got a bunch of cousins that speak their mind. I don't think none of them should be president of the United States.
Right, because he was quote unquote not part of the system already.
And anybody paid attention to is like, you goddamn right he was part of the system. He was the one driving the system with kickbacks and all the other underhanded dirty shit that most slumlords in the United States get into anyway. That's your MO, dog. We've been seeing you are.
Listen,
and that's what it is.
I'll say this. Let alone all the other shit that's happened over the past 4 years. And there's a lot of other shit. The way he treated the COVID shit this year alone is enough for you not to be reelected. Too many people died.
That's the reason for all the mail-in ballots.
Right.
Yeah.
If you would handle COVID better.
It's crazy.
That's the greatest shit about all this shit that we're talking about, son. All this shit is his fault. you could, and it won't take you long to get back to the point where you can be like, see right there? He went left when he should have went right. He done fired 50 niggas that he never hired for. It's like, son, you've been a disaster. And the fact that nobody, in fact, that supporters don't look at that. Look, as much as we love Obama, and as much as some people love Clinton and Jimmy Carter and all these other cats, and even Reagan and the Republicans, if you, these are the people. He was firing the head of Homeland Security. He's talking about firing the head of the FBI right now. And talking about and people that you put in place, dog, and talking about firing Fauci if he remains the president. This is the same guy who said he knows more about ISIS than all generals. How can you be in the armed services and vote for an imbecile like that? Yeah. That means that racism is more important, or money, because it's both things. So I think people that support him, it's not just that they racist, because there's black people that support him, and I know a lot of them got money, and their thing is I don't want to do that. I'm not talking about dumbasses like 50 Cent. I'm talking about people who, like, look, my heart is with them. Right. My wallet is with him, and you can't be a critical thinking adult and not say that you understand that part of it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to understand that part of it, because we all know, no matter how much money you make, taxes is a motherfucker. Like, they kick your ass. you know, they kick your ass in Monopoly. So in real life, you know what I'm saying? So it got to be tough to, you know what I'm saying, go through that. But we got to hope that whatever happens over the next 36 hours or the next week or whatever gets us to the point where, and we know that dude ain't going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? We know Kamala's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Right. But we got to be not bargaining with the rest of the world from the position that we've been bargaining. Laughing stocks. You know what I mean? And it's to see it. Like you said earlier, John, like the COVID shit is the one thing that, even if you were rocking with him, that should be the one thing that says, you know what, he proved. I mean, he admitted to downplaying it. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying, to not cause care. It's one thing to say, yo, we didn't know. Right. We didn't know this shit was evolving. We didn't know how it was, shit was changing every day. I could get that, because you don't know. Same thing we were talking about earlier with George Bush catching 9/11 6 months after he got, inaugurated. Right, right. You got to give him a learning curve, dog. You can't just throw that in. And Trump could have used that, like, yo, this shit changes every day. We don't know nothing about it. If you want to still talk about the China shit, that's fine. But don't act like, it's going away. It's like, you don't know. Right. And today, ironically, the first day that we got 100,000, I don't know if it was the cases or deaths. Cases, right? Cases. It can't be 100,000 deaths, so it's definitely cases. Yeah. First time we having 100,000 cases in a day, and we ain't even getting in the flu season yet. And there's nothing to say, nothing that I won't believe that if we didn't act better or quicker earlier on, shut down more stuff earlier on, punish those people who were saying, I'm not wearing the mask and it's a Democrat thing. Like, punish them. I ain't saying you got to go to jail. Right. But, you know what I'm saying? You say, look, man, we ain't going to throw you in jail, but you ain't causing problems and stuff. They got to film you. We need $2,500 or 30 days in the county. You pick which one you want. Or you can wear the mask.
Just wear the damn mask. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's not hard. They 3 for $5 at 7-Eleven. Wear the mask, bro. Come in here, get your Tostitos. You can leave right after that. Nobody got to say nothing. You've been in there arguing with, Justin, who working here part-time after school. He don't care, yo. Like, son, just leave me alone. Wear your goddamn mask. Get your strawberries and go, lady. Like, why you bother me?
Yeah, but they try the right people, though. Right. I ain't never seen him run up on Raheem in Starbucks. I've actually seen a few of those, and they usually end up getting stretched out, and that's exactly what you deserve. I'm not for the taping, and let me tell, and don't get me wrong, I laugh when they get fired. I do, because that's what you get. You know what I'm saying? But I would much rather you get punched in your face, and then you go to work the next day with your black eye. You got to tell your coworkers, hey, I was yelling at this guy for not having his dog on the leash. or I was mad at this guy because I didn't want to wear a mask in in Trader Joe's, and the guy that was stocking the organic lemonade knocked me unconscious. Or you can wear a mask. I prefer to keep my eyes at the level they are right now, not having to get swelled on nobody, and wear the mask. I'm in and out.
That's real shit. I mean,
but anything, we'll see what happens. Like I said, right now,
it's crazy.
CNN got him at CNN got him at 253. I think y'all was saying before we got on that somebody had him at 264. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we shall see. As of now, it's still up in the air, but we're hoping it changes shortly.
I think Trump gonna be in the Supreme Court hearings like he James St. Patrick.
Yeah, this is not. He's not gonna go away quietly. I just have a feel it's gonna be something. It's gonna be some type of drama.
I've always wanted the shame for him. Like I've never wanted like everybody, oh, he get assassinated. I'm like, look, I'm not wishing nobody death. I ain't that crazy. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want him to get impeached. Like I want you to get shamed. Like they find that like you cheated on your taxes. Like they tried to do the billionaire brother that paid the people
Morehouse
student loans off at Morehouse.
Yeah.
Tried to get him for tax evasion.
He
went up there. He was like, he Nino Browned everybody. Like, oh, I'm taking a whole bunch of people with me. I ain't see him snitching on nobody black, so I'm rocking with him. He's like, yo, this dude from Texas over here got his oil money. He can pay the fine too. If I'm gonna pay it, he can pay it too. And they got it. He a billionaire. What they gonna do? All right, $200 billion. I hear you $200 million. I got that in my stock. They pay for you. Pay that off. You say nothing. But no, you ain't got. He been quote unquote cheating on the taxes for like 7-8 years.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't looked into the dude until he paid off the people at Morgan. At Morehouse.
That's a lot of extra money you're taking out.
Right.
A lot of money and
that's like
a lot of extra money you.
Yeah. That's like what?
That's the money phone. He's like that's on Instagram. That's the money phone. I got your taxes right here, bitch.
Hilarious, yo. Well, I mean, we can't stay on this too long because we don't have a result yet.
And so we don't know. Yeah, we don't know what's
really
going on.
We don't really know. So I guess the next one we'll be able to discuss it a little further. But what I do want to talk about is, speaking of the presidency, we're gonna just switch it a little bit about everybody was up in arms about seeing Lil Wayne taking pictures with Trump and all that. And I mean, I can understand people being disappointed, but we all know why he did that. Like, we know why he would endorse Trump. Like he's black, but he doesn't live the life that we live. Like he's thinking about that money. It's a money thing for him. I mean, and I don't know why presidents, politicians always reach out to celebrities and rappers and thinking that they speak for all of us. I don't know why that is.
Well, it's if you look at it, our culture changes everything.
True.
Everybody emulates what we do.
Okay.
So they figure that the top people in our culture can get them whatever they want. They don't really know who the top people are. They don't know our culture, but that's what they think. Yeah.
From the outside looking in, they're like, "Oh, he's popular." They all like him or her, and that's.
But I just think that's the fact that some of these people think that black people are a monolith. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't us. Yeah. We come and one thing, and that if you ever walked on the campus of HBCU, that will prove it to you. It's people in HBCUs from all walks of life. The only difference is that we all in color.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We all, there was black people at Morgan that was rock music heads, didn't rock with, rap music like that. There was some people was, in the Lynx and the Boulay and all that stuff and, was, had money and all that. Right. There were people, who were rich, people who were poor, people, middle class. It was all walks of life over there. And that's just how black people are. There are people who, think totally different from us. Why did you think that Lil Wayne was going to help you? Lil Wayne has been a guy who has, on numerous occasions, has admitted that he don't even pay attention to current events, watch TV, and none of that shit. He even go on bubble.
You don't know what's going on.
Yeah. And I don't see the Republicans propping up Kid Rock. And he run with Trump. He do his own thing.
They feel they're not looking for the white vote. They're looking for
nobody
the black
cares.
Vote. But they don't know.
But nobody cares. Nobody who votes for Trump care what Kid Rock say.
Right. But they think we already have this. We have this side locked down already.
Right.
How can we get the black vote? How can we get that? What Biden got? No, not Biden. But Hillary, how much did Hillary get last time? Of the black vote, almost 80%.
Something like that. I forget.
She had enough.
Right. So they're like, how can we get this?
Right.
Oh, let's find a hip hop artist. Let's find an actor. Mm-hmm. They can't get any athletes.
But this is how tone deaf they are, right? There are rappers that are quote unquote activists who do stuff in the community and stuff like that. Why wouldn't you reach out to them?
Because they're not.
Why would you reach? Why? No, but look, you don't. If the president of the United States called Killer Mike, they're gonna have a conversation. Right. They may not agree on anything, but Mike is gonna take his call.
Yeah, he'll sit down with him.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now through that, they may not agree on everything, but there may be some things that Trump be like, you know what, that ain't nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? I could do that for you.
Yeah, but
you don't know that unless you reach out to them. No. Cube didn't do nothing. Cube wasn't prepared. That's the difference. Cube is not an activist, and they doing shit like, son, Killer Mike just helped found a black-owned bank.
Right.
Cube, Greenwood. Cube ain't done none of that. Kanye ain't done none of that. That's what I'm saying. It's like
Kanye's totally different, man.
True. That's all. That's a rabbit hole.
But I'm just saying,
if they're a celeb, even if you like, I don't agree with reaching out to the celebrities anyway, because I think that there's people that have their boots on the ground that do a lot more work because they got the time and put the effort in to do that. Why Killer Mike is, you know what I'm saying, touring with Run the Jewels, you know what I'm saying, as somebody in Atlanta that still got to take care of the hood. Right. So it's like, even if you're going to go at a celeb that's known for having the ear of the people, or at least doing stuff in the community. You know what I'm saying? Even if they don't rock with you, you don't know unless you go at him. Look, Cube had to give his whatever plan to both parties, right?
Which is still calling.
No, platinum plan. No. The platinum plan is Trump's plan. Cube's thing is called the Contract with Black America.
Oh, okay.
It's two different things.
Okay.
All right. The contract, the platinum plan is extremely vague. I posted something about that today. There's no specific stuff in that plan. If you look at Biden's plan for black people, exactly.
Biden's plan is what, 400?
Almost 50. You know what I'm saying? Which is so crazy considering that one got 5. Cube's thing is 4 or 5 pages. Same thing with the one that who else? Somebody else put out with another one too. Anyway, there hasn't been. They don't go to the people who are doing the grassroots and doing the work. Now, Trump might, if he tried to call D-Ray or tried to call Tamika Mallory, you might get the phone hung up on you.
Right.
But there's some people that be like, look, the only way, and Biden said it today, Republicans or Democrats, the people on the other side of the aisle can't be your enemy. It don't work that way. We all Americans. They can't be your enemy.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to meld that together some way. So you got to meet with them.
Yeah.
There's some shit that might work out, and there's some that might not.
They're not going to give him that photo op that he's looking for. That's what they're really looking for, is that photo op.
Pretty much.
And everybody that did it when he got elected got killed for it. Remember Steve Harvey ran up to his lobby?
Oh, yeah.
All them people was running up to Trump Towers.
Yeah. Ray Lewis.
Not even at the White House.
Jim Brown.
That's a Trump Tower.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? If we're being completely fair, is 40-something rappers went to go take a picture with Barack Obama, and nothing came out of that shit.
No.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing came out. That's why I'm like, the celebrity thing is scary because it's like, are you the president of the United States or are you a goddamn groupie? You know what I'm saying? Like, stop.
But specifically at election time is like, come on, what are we doing here? Like, you are specifically getting this photo out with Lil Wayne because you are trying to play on the ignorance of the people that love him. Like, oh, they love him, they're gonna follow whatever he says.
Right.
So let me get this photo out and I can get these votes. That's what I think. Just that from Trump's standpoint. Now,
isn't that insulting to you, though?
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Right.
but it's not surprising though. Particularly not from him.
No,
it's not surprising.
Right.
So it's insulting, but I'm not mad about it because I would expect that type of shit, from somebody like him. You know what I mean? But I'm disappointed in Wayne. But then again, I'm like, well, I'm not that disappointed. Like, okay, like maybe he's doing because, his pockets, he don't want his pockets get hit up because he's afraid that if Biden goes into office, he going to get taxed crazy. I get that you want to, but come on, man. Yeah. There's way too much shit that happened with this president for you to be smiling, taking pictures with him. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, if you're going to vote for him, that's your choice, but you got to know the temperature of the room. Like,
yes. Know the temperature of the room. Yep. But like you said, he's in his bubble, so he don't know and he don't care.
Let me ask you this though. I think that we also feel that way because even though we respect Wayne's pen and will always respect Wayne's pen, Wayne ain't one of our favorite rappers. So how would we feel the same way if it was Jay or Nas or somebody that came out and said that, who did the same thing? And if that happened, are we able to separate his political feelings with the art? Because I don't necessarily agree with cancel culture. Like, I don't agree with that shit. Like, especially over somebody else's belief, like that. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what it is, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't get into that. Wayne, you want to do that? That's fine. That's not gonna make me stop listening to 5,000 Degrees. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not. He ain't Robert Kelly. That's something you'd be like, okay, let me chill a little bit.
Right.
But I don't even think Wayne read or understand what was going on or how he was getting used. Now,
he wrote his statement.
Oh, no, not at all. And that doesn't mean that we should absolve him of that because you grown it. You still grown man. You're the master of your domain. You the boss. Everybody that's around you, you can control what you say, look it out, and whatever like that. So if that's what you're standing on, then stand on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to cancel him over it. But I just, like I said, I don't ever look to celebrities for political cues or advice.
No.
I've never done that. Y'all, the fact that y'all in a different tax bracket, just that alone, take all the race and shit out of it. The fact that y'all in a different tax bracket and this guy's something like this means that you could be compromised. Almost, to piggyback off of what we talked about last week with activists.
Mm-hmm.
If there's money involved, there's a chance that you can be, or corrupted. With these dudes, it's the same thing. Same thing with 50 running around talking about, I'm trying to tax for 62%. If he'd have read just that much of that plan, he'd have realized that nobody pays that 62%. That shit was before deductions and all that. The actual thing went up from 34 to 39 or something.
39, yeah.
A 5% tax. Yeah. Which if you clock in hundreds of millions of dollars or 6 or 7 figures, 8 figures a year, that 5% ain't gonna hurt you what you already give them. Of course you don't want to give it.
Ain't gonna hurt, but
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It ain't gonna, no, don't get me wrong. Look, money green. It ain't gonna hurt you because you can still go to the same things you were doing before. But I still understand, come on, son, I ain't trying to pay no more. If I got $40 and you tell me I got to pay 44 now, I'm going to be pissed. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I can imagine how that feels when you add 6 zeros to that number.
Right.
You know what I mean? That being said, dogs is 5%. You still got the other money you had before. If you cut something here or there, you can make that 5% anyway, or you write something off, you're going to make it back anyway.
But even if that's what you want to do,
anyway.
Just read it before you put it on the internet. Put it on social media.
Yeah.
And stop making people look ignorant. And I was going to say us, but I don't like lumping us in with people like that. But the rest of the world seems to lump us all in together. So when they do some shit stupid, it reflects bad on us. If they say something stupid, it reflects bad on us. So I think even if he wanted to walk that back, and he did a little bit afterwards, it's just something that, come on, man, like don't even say no shit like that if you're joking. Not now. You know what I'm saying? Give me a month. Give me a month after the election. You can joke about this shit all you want to.
Yeah, like
you never know.
You joke about it with your boys. You don't just put it on social media for everybody to see.
That's not taking the temperature of the room. Like, come on, man. I wouldn't expect it from you. And I fuck with 50. You know what I'm saying? But with that shit kind of pissed me off too. But one
people were like, people.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, John.
No, I was about to switch it because one MC that I do fuck with just dropped an album this past week, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, Busta Rhymes, nigga.
Yeah, let's leave this politics shit alone. This ain't our lane. let's go back to boom bap like we supposed to be. Get back in our lane.
Yes, sir, nigga. So, Busta Rhymes dropped his first album in like over 10 years, like 11 years. Like the last album he dropped was in 2009. Back on my board.
I didn't know that long ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know that long ago.
Yeah. Time flies. So he just dropped Extinction Level Event 2, which is the second coming of the first one, which dropped in 90.
It ain't really though, but I'm gonna let him rock. It ain't really. it ain't really though, but yeah. Go ahead.
98.
Yeah.
98.
How many joints on the album altogether? It's like 20 something, 21 or whatever, something like that.
22.
22.
And I've listened. I sat with it a little bit already, and it's only been a few days, but I have to say I rock with it. I feel like it's a little too long, but
yeah, I like the second half better.
It's a couple songs I could do without, but ultimately he got some fire joints on there, like it's good.
You like the second half better?
I think so, yeah.
Really?
I got to sit with it again.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean,
yeah, like
I'm sitting there looking at the joints right now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I love the joint with Q-Tip. I love the joint with Q-Tip. I love the Czar joint.
Hey,
I like Czar, yeah.
I love that. I love the last joint on the album, the Satan. That joint, he spit some crazy fire on that last joint. I would have liked to see.
I would like to hear MOP rhyme on that though.
Mm-hmm.
I was disappointed with that.
I like to because those three voices. Mm-hmm. That'd have been, let me get in the gym with that. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Let me get in the highway and burn up some miles. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to hear that, and we already heard them. With the Andy Up remix, know that they work together well. Yeah. So
the Rick Ross joint is dope too. I like the Rick Ross joint. I like that joint.
That was dope. His features are dope.
Yeah,
like his features with the current artists.
Yeah.
They were better than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, I could do without the Mariah Carey joint. I could do without the ODB joint. I could do without with the BBD joint. Like I could do without those.
That BBD joint, I can't listen to that.
Straight up. That's one of my.
It's too much.
It's too much, man.
That's one of my least favorite records. That's one of my least favorite records that has been done. Way too much. It was way too much. Go ahead, John.
The funny thing, I have to say that the whole thing a couple weeks ago with him and T.I. with the whole versus debacle, that was perfect promo for him. Like the time
he should have dropped it last week.
It still worked.
It was a nice rollout.
The timing still worked. The timing still worked. Because
it does now that we have it. But if he would have dropped it then,
I mean that's perfection. But it still worked out. Ultimately, it worked out in his favor because all I see is Busta on my timeline, people talking about it, and it's being well received. That's what I really like about it. It's being well received by people. So that's important.
And not for nothing. Yeah. When's the last time we thought or spoke about Busta before when he challenged T.I. to the verses, that like hit me out of nowhere. I was like, whoa, where that came from? Like I didn't even know what Busta was doing.
He's been staying busy with features though.
Yeah, he's been way.
That joint with Chris Brown is still was a monster hit.
Well, you have to think.
Yes, it was.
Somebody who from the era he comes, because he's before Jay, he's before DMX, he's before all these, and he's remained relevant because of his speeches, especially after the 2000s. Like,
Yeah.
and he's been like, and everybody loves Busta, like, because of how ill he is with the pen and his style, his flow, and his stage performance is crazy. Everybody respects his stage.
Energy is crazy.
Energy is crazy, and his videos are always.
I still believe that I would have liked to see T.I. and Busta. I don't think T.I. could have rapped with Busta at all. I think Busta would have washed him, to be perfectly honest. But there's only one other person. I think we talked about it before. I don't think we did it on the show, but the only person I think that's even in Busta can give Busta a go would be Missy Elliott.
You know what? I agree with that, but you know who I think would give him a good run to? I mean, well, I think Redman.
No.
Redman. I think so.
I think
that'd be a very.
I love Red. I don't think Red got enough for Busta now.
Really?
Red don't have the hits. Red don't have the hits. Now, lyrically, yes.
Yeah, lyrically, yes. Lyrically, yes.
Yeah, lyrically, yes.
Yes.
But hit to hit, Busta's.
You know what?
Like, Redman don't have a. It's a party with John A. Redman don't have a put your hands where your eyes can see. He don't have
certain verses are not about the hits for me.
True.
It's about certain when it's about verses, it's all about sequencing. You play the right song, because when we watch verses, and I know y'all do it, because sometimes we go back and forth on text. When somebody plays something, we be like, oh, he got to come with this joint. Oh, he got to come with that. And they don't play the right joint right after. You be like, oh, they waited too long to play it. That always happens. Like, you be like, let me sequence your joint for the verses. Let me do it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I think.
But you know what, though? If they playing the verses for an audience of niggas like us, I'm with you. If you're doing the audience, if you're doing it for IG, like it's a popularity contest then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not really.
Busta and Redman would be all for us. Busta and Redman would be for us.
Most of the verses have been for us, for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't really done, because the younger artists don't have the catalog yet.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Verses is for people with catalogs.
Yeah,
it's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, Redman.
That would be a good one.
It would be. That's what I'm saying.
Why wouldn't? What about Red vs. Meth? For verses.
Red got that easily.
Meth don't got enough either, man.
Meth definitely don't got enough.
These are big names, but if you go through their catalogs,
Meth got like 4 albums. He should have enough.
How good were those albums?
Features.
Exactly. What?
And features. No.
He had the worst albums out of Wu-Tang.
That's the facts. That is the facts. Although.
Wow, you going?
No, but
listen, you got had albums.
You got to have albums.
Master Killer had albums. Capadonna had albums. You gonna do that to Meth?
That album was alright.
Better than no album that Meth had.
The Cow wasn't good, man.
It wasn't.
But
it wasn't.
Nobody
talks about the Cow. Nobody talks about the Cow. You know what I'm saying? Just the singles. We talk about the singles. Like, come on. And Meth over the years has improved lyrically like nobody's business.
And he showed these
verses over the past few years that have impressed me so much. Like the joint he did with Conway. That
lemon joint's crazy.
That lemon joint is crazy. But
see, that's why I think Red and Meth would be a good matchup, because they're so even. Now, I think Red had better albums than Meth, much better albums than Meth. I don't think Meth ain't had an album that could touch Muddy Waters. It's not even close. However, they're because of the way they rhyme, they're better freestyle artists than they are song making artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you need a 16 from anybody, in 10 years you can call up Red and Meth and they still gonna give you some fire. That's just something that they can do. You know what I'm saying? So I think
how many joints on their joint album together do you remember?
Blackout Stone? I gotta listen to both of them.
I got a few.
But
I got a few, because don't forget, I mess with the devil's lettuce, so there's been many times I've been in the crib. You know what I'm saying? Say that. Listening to Blow Trees and stuff like that. Like, there's people that know the Rot Wah, but there's But you know, you gotta be fans. And plus, I'm a Red stan. So you know, I listen to everything he put out anyway.
Now, speaking of verses, I know we talked about it on the text. Timberland kind of hinted about some Jodeci shit coming up.
Yes, sir.
Like, and that had us talking about Jodeci and Boys to Men if they did a verses. And I saw somebody online on Facebook actually talking about, who would you prefer? And as I expect, a lot of people chose Boys to Men, and I think T, you like, because hits wise, Boys to Men got it.
Hits wise, Boys to Men definitely. But Boys to Men's corny.
Time out.
What?
Hits wise, Boys to Men definitely over Jodeci?
End of the road sold like 30 million singles, man.
Listen.
No. I didn't say no. I didn't say record sales. I said hits wise. That's one record.
Sales and hits.
That's listen. But it's one hit.
Okay.
It's one hit, right?
Listen.
Jodeci first album. Jodeci first album had 8 singles.
Pull up the album sales though. You'll see, like. As far as
I'm not talking about album sales. We said hit. That's one song that sold 30 million records.
It sells. That's the definition of a hit. Not today.
No.
I
mean, not for me.
No, I refuse.
Hit,
not for us. Not for us.
And that's what we're talking to. We're talking to us.
But when you say Billboard, you talk about Billboard hits. When you say Billboard, you talk about hits.
Who said Billboard? You said Billboard?
I didn't say none of that. I didn't say none of that.
No, Billboard.
It's not a hit.
Billboard.
Yeah.
What's the hit?
Exactly.
What's the hit?
It impacts the culture.
Nigga, Cheapskate by the Sporty Thieves was a hit. It probably didn't even chart. It was a hit though. Am I lying?
Right.
Am I lying?
That's a hood hit. That's a hood hit. That's like being hood rich, right? Is that the same thing?
Okay.
But it's a hit though. But it's a hit. It's a hit to us. What we saying?
I agree with you.
Like, it wasn't a Billboard hit, but it was a hit to us.
Right.
It's end of the road a hit.
Yes, of course. It's a hit.
What makes it a hit? What makes it a hit? What makes it a hit?
Most people that you would ask if you like that song would say yes. That's what it feels to me. Because Can't Touch This sold 30 million records.
That wasn't a hit.
I didn't like it.
That wasn't a hit. That was a super smash single. It's a different. That's like being like in being an athlete, being a star and a superstar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That End of the Road was a super smash. Like that's Mariah Carey big single type shit. There are other hits. And it was on the Boomerang. And it was on the Boomerang soundtrack. Don't forget that. When during the time when soundtracks meant some shit.
It made the soundtrack.
There are hits that don't crack the top 10. Hits that don't crack the top 10.
Chief, you gonna send me with this youngin' talk, son?
Yo, let me ask you a question.
Straight up, I'm about to pull that up right now, but you know that wasn't the only shit on there.
Was Rebel?
No, it wasn't the only shit on there, but it was the biggest joint.
You said it made the soundtrack.
What
are you talking about?
When you think about Boomerang, you think about that song.
Son, listen.
Without looking, you couldn't name me another song off that soundtrack.
Wait.
Hot Sex on the Platter.
Wait, Boomerang soundtrack?
Without looking, you couldn't have named it for me.
Hot Sex on the Platter.
Hot Sex on the Platter. Love should have brought you home last night.
Yeah.
What's the
Love should have brought you home? That's the song that's the one that people think about. To be honest, Love should have brought you home. Because that was a seminal scene in the movie.
Yeah, that's when the scene in the movie. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the seminal scene in the movie. You know what I'm saying? So that's one that people look at. I think most people remember that End of the Road was on that soundtrack because it was such a monster hit.
Because it was too big.
And you heard it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It was a hit, but I think you said it earlier. You throw End of the Road on, right? As great as a song as it is, and y'all know I was picking up Wanye on the company in the back. Yeah. You throw on Forever My Lady.
I prefer Forever My Lady.
During the verses?
Yeah,
exactly. During the verses?
Listen,
Forever My Lady go in there.
That's us.
Yeah.
That's us. End of the Road was a way bigger song than Forever My Lady. So a lot of people.
But it wasn't.
But listen, a lot of those people who think that know Forever My Lady. So a lot of people would like End of the Road over Forever My Lady. Like I wouldn't be surprised if that would beat that. But for me,
and a lot of people would And a lot of people would think like us, especially people from our era, who like Jodeci was our Four Tops or Temptations or some shit like that. Like that's why we feel about them the way they were. Not that Boyz II Men wasn't big either, but we didn't relate to them niggas that was wearing jean shorts and blazers. And
not at all, man.
We didn't relate to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why
they could sing and all
Jodeci, they could sing great, but that's why I'm like, it was a bigger song. It's a much bigger song.
Yeah.
In the road, but I think, you know, Forever My Lady.
it was
I'm gonna say Jodeci all day over Boyz II Men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's of course that's what we would think, but I'm being a realist, saying like, yo, people would actually pick that song over Forever My Lady. We wouldn't, but I feel like more people probably would.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, who are the artists you think don't have a good matchup in the verses just because they that good?
You mean people
we
that
talking about?
Been?
Yeah, haven't been on. Like we talking about boy bands right now, like Jagged Edge and 112 and on.
Yeah.
Looks like
that was a struggle.
What's name will be on soon. Yeah, very much of a struggle. I think you know, we see that Jodeci probably gonna get on sooner or later.
Listen,
probably with Boyz.
Before you get into that,
New Edition can't have. I can't think of anybody from the time they came out to now that could match them. And you can just do New Edition records, like leave out Bobby's solo shit.
You can't do that though.
Leave out.
You got
look.
That.
Even if you did that, even if you did that, they got enough in the chamber that nobody that come out after them will be able to see them.
No.
We even talked about Jay having a decent versus with Drake if that ever happened. You throw New Edition out there, you got to think for a second, like who could touch them that that came out after them or came out at the same time as them? Like they came out when I was 13, I'm 50.
Right.
So the last 37 years, they didn't have no peers, and this is just with their albums. If you add Bobby solo stuff, DVD, Johnny Gill stuff after New Edition, and Ralph, his few hits, ain't nobody touched him.
No.
Not even close.
No. I mean, no, not at all. Because how long they been in the game? It's been like 40 years.
So like I said,
when you think about it, since the early 80s. You know what I'm saying?
Candy Girl came out when I was 13 years old. It was such a confusion. We actually was like, yo, did Michael Jackson come out with new music and they changed?
Yeah, I remember.
Like, that was the talk. You know what I'm saying?
They were dubbed the New Jackson 5. Remember that? It was dubbed the New Jackson 5 of our generation when they came.
Yeah.
And they got to respect when we start saying, oh, y'all going to leave? I'll get some white boys called New Kids on the Block. Same shit. and sell millions of records. Oh, y'all want to go? Your mom want to talk slick? All right, go ahead.
You ain't like this VCR?
Yeah.
You ain't like this VCR, right.
Yeah, them niggas VCRs with remotes that wasn't even universal.
He chipped the shit out of them kids, man. What, he got VCR $500 or some shit like that?
Yeah. How he ain't get punched in his mouth?
Yeah.
Word.
By somebody drunk uncle.
Word.
Yeah. Y'all from the project side to have some type of older people, some crew from the project to come whip his ass or something.
I was just watching that shit on BT the other day, and then they fired Ronnie DeVoe uncle, and he was the one that cared about him.
Yeah.
And they had to bring him back. They had to bring him back after they hired the slimy white guy played by Michael Rappaport. I don't know, but that slimy white guy. They was like, nah, we got to bring back, Uncle. What's his name? His name started with B. Okay, always got to go back to how you find the uncle though. You got to keep the uncle good. He wasn't stealing. He wasn't getting high. He wasn't running hoes through there nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, my nephew in here, so I'm trying to help him out.
Right.
What did Ronnie really do?
He danced.
That's unnecessary, brother.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
He was backup.
there you go for a division again.
Oh, he had some questionable lyrics too, but.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what
you're talking about. I know you're talking about too.
We're gonna move right. We're gonna move right smooth past that.
We all was singing it. Right?
So, it seems like Ronnie. Come on, Sunshine. It seemed like Ronnie played the. Yeah, it seemed like Ronnie was him and Mike were the cool ones.
Mike was the business.
Yeah.
He was also the cool one. He gave me their swag.
Right.
He gave me their swag. Because nobody followed behind Ricky. Ralph had chicks, you know what I'm saying, but nobody young wanted to be Ralph. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't cool. We never saw him play basketball in Poison video. You know what I'm saying? So, what we heard was Ralph talking about you need a man with sensitivity. In the 90s, that wasn't really our bag at all.
Great song, though. Great song.
Yeah, son. I made a new edition playlist. I made a new edition playlist on Tidal, and me and my kids was running around when I was doing my little side hustle earlier today, and they would, they took a ride with me, and they, and I'm noticing that they rocking,
right,
and deep down inside you feeling good, like my kids, I did a good job as a dad if they like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I can introduce you to this and you like it. Like the other day, we in the crib listening to Chaos's mix while we cleaning up. And the Shaka Khan joint come on. What you gonna do for me when the chips are down?
Yeah.
So we come back in the crib, they eat, listen to the music. Tell my son to go in the shower. My son 8. In the shower, I walk into the to the room, and I hear him in the shower. What you gonna do for me? I'm like, yo, you caught that? And it's like I'm beaming right now. So I'm like, yes,
right,
yes, I can actually introduce them to real music.
Yeah. It feels good when they love the real music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't have to force it on him. I'm playing it in the background. I didn't even know that he was paying attention because he was, playing the game and all that too.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, this caught him. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, now I'm good. No, I usually play that in the, I used to play classic R&B when I'm in the car with them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I play some old school rap if cursing ain't too crazy, but for the most part, it's or I play New Edition, Bobby Brown, that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that we were able to, catch that. You know what I'm saying? And like it, not have to force it on them and be like, nah, stop listening. I ain't get to be the old man. Stop listening to that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They introduced me to these new rappers, like the new guy, like some other young rapper got a meal at McDonald's now. But Travis Scott had the first one.
Young rapper. He's a superstar.
No. I don't know who that guy is though.
Somebody else.
Yeah, I know Travis. Yeah, I don't. Some guy named something with a J. I know Travis Scott.
J Balvin.
Superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had a meal at McDonald's, I'm sure you are superstar. But I had no idea who J Balvin was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, they tell me, right now I couldn't tell you what J Balvin did. If I know J Balvin could be the best, glass blower in the United States, I would have no idea. But they, hey, I'm like, y'all know J Balvin? They're like, yeah. I'm like, what do you do? And one of them told me he was a rapper or a singer or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay. So he got a meal too. They're like, yeah. J Balvin come here right now, flip over every table I got in here. I wouldn't know who he was. I don't know if J Balvin's black, white, Asian. I don't know who. I have no idea.
That's hilarious.
But God bless him. You know what I'm saying? Hope he get a cut on the meals. I know when Travis Scott shit dropped, I think they had sold sold out some of the stuff. Like you couldn't get a quarter pounder at 3 of the McDonald's around here.
Was stealing the posters out of McDonald's and selling them on eBay.
What?
Son, one of the people sold their Because you know they got the shirt.
The employee shirts. Yeah.
Embroidered.
Oh,
yeah. So that shit for $600.
A few of them. A few of them did.
I was sold all that Travis Scott shit. Went back to work like, yo, I don't got none of that. Somebody robbed me.
See, that's the definition of a superstar right there. That superstar shit right there. Selling these shirts for $600 a McDonald's work shirt?
Yeah. Stealing posters out the window. Like, what the?
That's crazy.
Were we that a fanatic for the people that we rocked with when we were younger?
I would say yeah. I would say yeah. I don't know. I don't know if we personally were, but our group of people that we grew up with, yeah, I would say yeah. Maybe, you know, like
for who though?
Like the chicks went crazy for New Edition. Are you kidding?
Yeah, they went crazy.
Are you kidding me? New Edition that was
crazy. Talking about guys.
Huh?
I'm talking about guys for the most part. I'm talking about guys. I know girls were fanatics. That's what they do. Mm-hmm. But who were we? Like, I guess if Run DMC would have had or LL would have had a meal at McDonald's or something, we might have ate that up.
LL.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, Run DMC, the whole Adidas thing, like they're close to that.
How old are you, Steve?
44. Yeah.
Okay. And I don't say this to age shame you. But listen. I was Run DMC in the garden when I was 15. So you were 9.
Yeah. Not
that you couldn't feel it, but you know, it took me to just a year ago to admit that Wu-Tang was the greatest rap group of all time in my eyes. Run DMC held that position to me forever.
Mm-hmm. My uncle bought Run DMC's album. That was the only rap album he owned. So look,
not only were they were the first rap superstars, everybody who was a rapper that we love said that they loved Run DMC, especially the groups. That was what what they followed.
Yeah.
So
Run was nice.
Run was nice.
Yes, very nice. And DMC was nice too, very underrated. That's a story for another day. But I think that they were when I was 15, if they would have put out a McDonald's meal, I'd have been running there every day to get it.
Of course.
Yeah. I bought Shell to Adidas because of Run. I bought BVDs because of Run.
I wanted some because of Run.
Adidas sweatsuits because of Run. I wore Adidas sweatsuits.
Yeah.
Great Adventure on Easter because of Run. I never wanted to be like Curtis Blow ever. Mm-hmm. I always wanted to be like Run. I thought Run was the coolest nigga on the planet in 1983, between 1983 and 1986. You could have told me there was nobody on the planet cooler than Joe Simpson.
Right. Until Rakim came.
You know what I'm saying? Until Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, and KRS-One came. And that changed everything.
Nobody wanted to be KRS-One, but...
Right. I have to agree with you.
He was dumb nice on the mic. But no.
Nobody wanted to be KRS-One.
See, you know what it is, brother? That's because you worried you ashamed of your African features. Only the nose or why you would say that. You're afraid of your African features, brother. And one of these days, we're going to have a conversation about that and get you back on your square. But right now, I'm going to let you know, I'm going to call you out. You're afraid of your African features, brother. There was no other reason that you would not want to be KRS-One. That's all right, though. Might be a Harlem Bronx thing, who knows. You're afraid of your African features, brother. You're afraid to be you, brother. Stop that. You got them sneakers in the back that mess your mind up, brother. European sneakers, might I add.
With no African features. European sneakers with no African features.
No African features.
You ain't hear that line right there? Ball right there?
That's a bar.
European sneakers with no African features.
Where that vino come from?
Where that vino come from?
Argentina, and I got a bottle to show it. What are you talking about? Argentina, brother, where Thiago Splitter and Manu Ginobili come from. Respect me, you put that Thiago Splitter first.
Yeah. That's disrespectful, though.
And I think I'm wrong. I think he's from Brazil at the end of the day. I know Manu's from
Manu's from Argentina.
Oh God!
All right, let's pull it back.
I think it's too late now. We done flew off the rails.
We're off the rails.
We done flew off the rails, man. Oh my goodness. We
Why
got
am I so hot?
We got
Must be the wine. Actually, CNN still got him at 253.
Yeah. I've been looking.
I think. Yeah, I think whoever was counting was like, you know what, I'm about to hit a hot nap real quick for hot 3 hours.
Like
I'll be right back at it.
It's gonna be a long couple days. We ain't gonna know till Friday. We don't know till Friday.
And then Shorty, either from Pennsylvania or Michigan, was like, she's not gonna certify anything until December 1st. Because she knows there's going to be some shenanigans with the court and everything like that. Now, I mean, they're going to count the votes and everything like that. Mm-hmm. But now, I guess until she get the rubber stamp, it's not quote unquote official. Right. So she's going to wait a little while to see what's going on. But all the votes are being in already. I think, like you said, John, we'll probably find out Friday.
It's crazy.
And I honestly think that after we get off of this, will probably be the last day I watch it until they say something. I literally haven't watched nothing. Son, today has been, I got up today at 6 o'clock, maybe 5:45. Mm-hmm. Literally been switching back and forth between CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC for the last 16 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not watching none of this shit tomorrow.
My TV been on
so
CNN
Donald Trump head could pop open and Barack Obama head could grow out of that, and I'm not turning it into the news. I don't want to watch none of this shit no more, son.
It's like watching paint dry.
It is.
Yes.
It really is.
I'm gonna go listen to some music, mess to my, you know what I'm saying, with my meds, and I'm gonna leave the day to everybody else who want to argue about this shit. Like until the time comes, let me know when it's all done, and I'll start paying attention to it then. But right now, I'm tired of this, and I know it's going to be shenanigans that come after that. I know with the lawsuits and the tweets and all this stuff. And I'm just really exhausted of the whole thing. I'm disgusted with both parties. I'm disgusted with the government, the way that they've been acting and conducting themselves over the last few months and years. So it's just crazy that we work hard and bust our ass and go through all this stuff, and there's people dying from disease and shit and viruses, and they arguing over this kind of shit like they in the 5th grade. You know what I mean? It's just very disheartening to have to deal with it. And to piggyback on your T-shirt that you got, or your sweatshirt that you got, we have to protect our peace.
Oh yeah, we got it.
Like I can't, I can't, shout out to our brother BZ for the joints, you know what I'm saying? Hit him if you, if you want to get some, yeah. But we just gotta do better as a society. You know what I mean? As an American society, I've never been embarrassed by the shit that white people do. Let me say that first and foremost. Okay, I mean, we're embarrassed to be Americans. I'm not embarrassed by what these devils do. You know what I'm saying? Not all white people are devils. Let me say that. But I'm not embarrassed by what these people do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can go ahead and act stupid all you want to. Like leave me out of that. Don't lump me into that, because I don't think anything like that. And, I'm just ready for all this to be over. I don't think that we're going to flip a switch and it's going to be, happy times are here again. Do I want Biden to do well, and do I think we need to keep the pressure on him to make sure that he, delivers his promises, him and Kamala? But I just want to get up one day and not have to roll my eyes and suck my teeth over some stupid shit that the president did.
I'm sick of Trump. I just don't want to see him no more. I don't want to hear from him.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't care if I agree with the president or not. I just want the president to go back to being presidential.
Yeah, to be president.
Yeah, just
be president.
Just act like the president.
Yeah, don't act like a buffoon. Like, you know what I'm saying? And because it's like I feel like we're about to go down this rabbit hole again, because it's starting to piss me off. You know what I'm saying? All the dumb shit he's done over the past 4 years, and that the race is still so close right now.
Before we go, let's try to get some recommendations, Joe. What, other than the political stuff that's been going on for the last week, is anything that you bump into that could give you a good diversion from watching? Because we said we didn't want to watch the shit no more. What have you been watching that, if you had anything to recommend that I can get to? Like two weeks ago, or 2 months ago, you thought that I watched everything on TV.
All right. I just started watching Fargo. So
I was about to say Fargo.
Fargo's pretty good. I've never, I love Chris Rock as a comedian, but he's never been the greatest actor to me. But he's good in this show.
I agree.
He's decent in this.
And there are some interesting characters in this show, boy. There are some interesting characters.
But Fargo as a series has always been good.
Yeah.
I might start that tonight. Now, I saw the first season.
All of them been good.
Fargo.
All of them been good. I've seen them all.
Yeah. And
this one starts
this
out
is the third. This is the third season, right?
Fourth.
This is the third season, though, right?
Fourth.
Okay.
Fourth.
And one thing I do like about Fargo, at least what I heard, is I don't have to watch the third season to start watching the fourth season, right?
No.
Like nothing.
They're all different.
They're all separate. All separate.
All different stories.
All different stories.
All right.
And the thing about it,
what
makes it crazy is like in the beginning it says based on the true story.
Right. Yeah, it's a good show. It's good. It's
good
funny. Yeah, it's real good.
There's some good acting in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think of the best thing I've seen recently. Deion Cole's special on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Yeah, very good. My man Ocean is one of the executive producers on that. Shout out to Ocean. But he actually goes on the road with Deion when they do their club dates.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know Deion had a new special coming out. But he's always been funny to me. Mm-hmm. And he was extremely funny in that particular thing. So I like stand up, so that was great.
Okay.
Waiting for some of my favorite shows to come back. Like I was a big Chicago Fire, Chicago PD dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like my man, like Hank Voight is one of the greatest Americans in history. I don't care if he's a fictional character. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest Americans in history. It should be celebrated as such.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna see you behind on that one.
Yeah, it seems like with the COVID and quarantine and working from home, like it got to the point where I got tired of watching TV like 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. Like in the summertime and shit, it was like I couldn't find nothing else to watch. Basketball was on, so that dominated, you know what I'm saying, most of my time anyway when I was watching TV. Mm-hmm. But now is a unique time because like baseball is over, which it would have been anyway. But this is the beginning of the basketball season. So we'd have been waiting all summer for this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? October, first week of November comes, was like, all right, we back at it. You know what I'm saying? The TNT start with their Tuesdays and Fridays, right? So now with basketball not, starting until maybe January, it's like I'm trying
to get that before Christmas.
No, they said it'd probably start the 22nd, but some of the stars may not play.
Oh,
if they got Chris,
money too.
If they got Chris, but LeBron James coming down the money ain't really bother you. Not now when you got guaranteed contracts. This ain't the NFL. That's what I think about the NBA. NBA players got power. What you gonna do? Not give it to me for 2 weeks? All right.
Some people need that.
Right.
But the stars don't. Not the ones that play do.
Not the stars, no.
Yeah. What's the big contract? $300 million over 8 years or some shit like that. You're not worried about sitting out for 2-3 weeks for the beginning of the season. Y'all can have that TV money. So hold up. Let me go to my sock drawer, pull it out. Pull it out. I got it right here. Toss that to you and keep the change too. I got it. But I wouldn't. If I understand them not wanting to play a month after the season started. You know what I'm saying? 2 months after the season started. Especially if I'm LeBron James, 35, 36 years old.
Right.
Yeah. I got to be around my fam, son. You know what I'm saying? Give me my fam for a minute. But like you said, Steve, it's like if depending on who it is, if you one of these dudes out here that got 4 or 5 baby mamas, and Adam Silver like, nah, you ain't got to come. But best believe no check be coming. That direct deposit be held back. You know what I'm saying, for a minute too. But I don't know. I think now is the time for me to find something to watch because I got a good 6 weeks until basketball season comes back. Every now and then I go to Amazon Prime and catch my hood flicks. You know what I'm saying? Which I highly recommend, by the way. You got to be in the mood for that. You know what I'm saying? Usually when my kids go to sleep. My kids go to sleep and I have some Jack. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
we just watched a show called The Black Box on Prime.
Black Box?
Yeah. It's a
about?
Good storyline. Like I don't want to. I can't say nothing about it without giving it away, but
okay.
Yeah.
Black Box on Amazon Prime. Okay.
Black people in it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's this new actor.
I gotta ask.
I watched another movie with him. It was a movie about wine that he starred in. I don't know his name though. He's new. But Felicia Rashad's in it.
Oh, I saw that. I think I saw that. Yeah, she's like a doctor.
On Netflix.
Like
it's on Prime.
She's like a doctor or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
she's a doctor. Yeah.
Who's kind of okay. Yeah.
Yo, also if I get a chance, check out a show on Prime called Upload.
Okay.
The premise is in the future they found a way to kind of keep your conscience alive.
Oh yeah, I saw a trailer for that. Yeah.
Yeah. When you pass away, my homegirl Zainab from New York, Zainab Johnson, funny comedian. She's in this, and I thought it was a good. It was an ill premise. It's like you get to pay for that when you go. Levels to it. You know what I'm saying? You can get the fly package where you go and you change your scenery when you go out, and then you can get the Walking Man package where you only get a certain amount of gigabytes and you sitting in this room in the basement. You know what I'm saying? And it's like even in death, there's class in it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It's just wild how it was. You know what I'm saying? But that I saw was good. Outer Banks on Netflix is pretty good. And I'm happy they actually brought Boomerang back. We was talking about that earlier. They brought Boomerang back on Netflix. I always got to watch that when it's on there. And for some reason, Netflix has brought back a lot of the older black sitcoms like Girlfriends and Moesha and stuff like that. I guess it's a good move.
Me neither.
Yeah, of course you didn't. I wasn't a big Moesha fan. I watched Girlfriends.
I'm glad that's back.
Yeah, every now and then you can catch a Chappelle Show marathon on Comedy Central too, like on a lazy Saturday.
Classic stuff.
It was there you get caught up there.
Classic stuff.
But I'm sure we got some, hopefully, like you said, we got to get up out of here. But hopefully on our next episode, we will know who our president is. It ain't no guarantee that we're going to figure that out. But I hope we'll find out how it is. This right here, like I said, I'm not watching no more of this shit today. I don't believe in the anxiety thing because they do it to me like that. But it's like T said, it's like it's watching paint dry, and it's it's exercise and futility trying to get to this. They're not going to give them. We'll probably be up another. It's going on 9 o'clock out here in LA.
Yeah, we're gonna know when we know. That's how it's gonna be.
Yeah. Exactly. Regardless of what happens, life still goes on. We got work to do and other stuff to concentrate on. You know what I mean? So
true indeed, God.
True indeed, God. So with that said, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to the third episode of You Heard What I Said. Don't forget.
Might have a guest next time, right?
Huh?
Maybe.
What you said?
So we might have a surprise guest next time, maybe.
Oh yes, it's possible.
Maybe. It's possible.
We got some things.
I called Barack. He said he's gonna be in the area. Holler at him and stuff. I told him I got trees. He might come through.
Barrio out there hooping, man.
That's what I do.
Yo, that clip was great.
Yo, it was great.
That clip made me
could never.
That clip made me smile and tear and tear up all at the same time.
But you understand how hard it is to shoot an NBA 3 with a jacket on.
I'm about to say a jacket, no warm up. You know what I'm saying? Mask on.
Right.
With the camera.
And slacks.
With the cameras on. Yeah, and slacks.
Action slacks.
Yeah, I was about to say probably ill fitting slacks too. As cool as Barack is, he's a little square too.
I mean, he was the president, so you got to be a little bit, you know. It's all good.
Barack is the I tuck my jersey in type guy. You know, so everybody else got their jerseys out. Barack, but Barack would tuck his jersey in his jeans before he throw out the first pitch. You know,
he's out there hooping in sweatpants before it became cool.
Yeah. The nasty fit sweatpants too.
So as y'all heard,
the Jordan fit sweatpants.
Yeah. So as y'all heard, according to the right, we might have Barack on the next You Heard What I Said podcast. Don't quote me though. Don't quote me. Anyway, we want to thank y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Barack Smith though. Y'all didn't think Barack Obama. I'm talking about Barack Smith. Yeah. He lived on the floor underneath me in 219. I'm in 320. He in 219.
I forgot
every now and then I think
what
the intro and the way it comes into that Kendrick Lamar feature is beautiful.
Oh yeah. That's dope.
That's well put together.
Well put together. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. You heard what I said. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at You Heard What I Said. All right? Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Good.